Namaste ji, namaste. Welcome to TLY. My name is Sahaj. TLY stands for Teaching Laws of India. We will cover out the Pahalgam terror attack, the most unfortunate incident in recent times, but one of the most important current affairs for CLAT this year. They can give you a newspaper excerpt and then ask you about all of the details. In two formats, questions can be asked, wherein one in which the answer will already be given in the passage, then you need not worry. However, you need to have covered this out current affair for the second style of questions in which they can ask you all the ancillary details that they can ask. I call this the CLAT style, basically a CLAT style current affair in which the examiner can ask each and every detail like they have asked in 2020 and 2021 and 2022 style papers. So Pahalgam terror attack, the most important thing is the date of the attack, that is the 22nd of April 25. This attack took place in the Baisaran Valley, and जहाँ पे the mountain range का नाम है the Pir Panjal Range, और Baisaran Valley is that mini Switzerland. All right. So Pahalgam is the overall name of the place, and then you have a specific place in which this terror attack occurred, and this terror attack was claimed by the resistance front, a proxy of Lashkar-e-Taiba. This is low probability because this was denied later on, etc. But this made the news, so they can even frame a question like this: which terror group first claimed the responsibility for the attack and perhaps then later retracted it? So this can be one question. And Pahalgam is in the Anantnag district of J&K. Of course, related J&K के हमेशा आते हैं कि how many union territories has it been bifurcated, which act was used, Article 370 related, but that is beyond the scope of this lecture today. This is the deadliest since the 2008 Mumbai attacks. So this year, when did the Mumbai attacks take place? That is 2008, is an important MCQ. 26 civilians were killed. This is a very low probability, just making you right for the sake of your own context. 26 civilians were killed in Pahalgam. One of the most unfortunate things that happened. However, this was the opening details that you need to be knowing for CLAT, AILET and all other law entrance examinations. This is where I think CLAT is going to test you by giving you an excerpt about this terror attack and then talking about Indus Water Treaty and Shimla agreements and the line of control. Now, these are three interrelated topics, so kindly do make a note. Shimla agreement was signed on the 2nd of July 1972. This date becomes extremely important for this year, CLAT 2026 ka exam. And this was signed post the Indo-Pak War of 1971. And why was this war fought? This was post, we supported Mukti Bahini. So this was a group in Bangladesh for Bangladesh's liberation. It earlier used to be known as East Pakistan, but then Bangladesh said, no, we want to be a separate country. Since we supported this group, Pakistan, well, fought with us and as usual lost. So 1971, this was the Indo-Pak War. All right. Then the Shimla Treaty, actually the actual document is like this. So always I just wanted to show it so that how the memory works is the more and more things that you see and hear, the more and more that you are able to better recall when you see the correct option. So see this. This is how the original the agreement looks like. And it says the government of India and government of Pakistan are resolved, or rather have resolved, that the two countries put an end to the conflict and confrontation that have hitherto marred their relations and work for the promotion, etc. I do not wish to read from the board. And principles and purposes of the Charter of the United Nations shall govern the relation between the two countries. This is a slightly important point, slightly, as in which of the following is a correct statement, which of the following is an incorrect statement. ये पूछा जा सकता है, तो कृपया करके आप इस चीज को वर्ड टू वर्ड बस अपने नोट्स में डाल लीजिए. Alright, and the location at which this agreement was signed was the Bans Court or the Raj Bhavan, of course, where? At Shimla in the state of Himachal Pradesh. Indira Gandhi was the PM at that time and Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was the president of Pakistan. So who are the two personalities or the individuals who signed this agreement? So it was signed by Indira Gandhi and Bhutto ji. Now we move. The agreement converted the ceasefire line of 17 December 1971 into the line of control. So what is the line of control? Is it really the international border? No. This is where we stopped fighting at. Alright, so that is the line of control between India and Pakistan. It was agreed that neither side shall seek to alter it unilaterally, irrespective of mutual differences and legal interpretations. So they can even ask you the LOC was created by which of the following agreements. Alrighty, so this is where it is. Kargil War, and then now we go into the ancillary details of the operations that have taken place within the context of the Indo-Pak War relations. So the Kargil War, which year was Kargil War in? That is the first MCQ, 1999. Then you have Operation Vijay. So this was the overall Operation Ganam, but there was another Operation Ganam which was, well, Operation Operation Safed Sagar, that is related to the Kargil War. This was the code name assigned to the Indian Air Force's role. Basically, the Indian Air Force's main mission in Kargil, uska naam tha Operation Safed Sagar. So basically a white sea, white ocean, you can say. Operation Meghdoot, 1984, Siachen Glacier. So in 1984, what we did was, well, we went up the Siachen Glacier and, well, occupied it, completely occupied in the sense we installed, or rather we put our military in place. So Pakistan, this considers this as a violation of the Shimla Agreement, all right? So yeah, so we took over the Siachen Glacier via Operation Meghdoot in 1984 because it was it is a very strategic place in case war breaks out. Very important location. Okay, Operation Safed Sagar ho gaya, Meghdoot ho gaya, Kargil War is done. All right, let's move. Then you have something called as the Delhi Agreement. This is also related. I won't go into much details because, well, that is not really required. Delhi Agreement is between which of the following countries? India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, signed on the 28th of August 1973. Now this is now ended. It is not in force. Because why is the Shimla Agreement in force? Because post this Pahalgam terror attack, we suspended the Indus Water Treaty. Pakistan said we don't care about the Shimla Agreement anymore. Right? So ये दोनों topic तो आ ही आ रहे हैं, आप समझ लीजिए. So it allowed the repatriation of prisoners of war and intern officials held in the three countries. So basically to send the people back. So this was for the Delhi Agreement. And another ancillary detail post the Pahalgam terror incident is that the Wagah border, that the ceremony that takes place has taken place since 1959 there. At the Atari village, Amritsar se, I think 30 or 32 kilometers is there. That has been suspended. So the Wagah border connects which are the following two cities, Lahore and Amritsar. Earlier, Lahore and Amritsar used to be like one giant place, just like Delhi, Gurgaon. So, well, now it is separated by the Wagah border, and the road on which this border is situated is known as the GT Road. So that is the Grand Trunk Road, which basically passes through Delhi as well. So this is one road that keeps on flowing way from, that is entire one road. And another static GK related MCQ is which of the following highways is from Kashmir till Kanyakumari? That is I think National Highway number 44. Alrighty. So ये सारी की सारी details हैं, which I think that the examiner can ask. Examiner can ask, in fact, even much more. I think I'll take a pause here and do some shameless advertisement. So basically, we are running a CLAT AI LET का current affairs का course. Give me 1 second. The team did not open it here. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll show you. Should be in bundle. Yeah, here it is. So I run this. This is the observer. I do not know whether I want to continue at 15,000. I think I'll raise it to 18 or 20 odd thousand. So it has CLAT style current affairs. I'm just right now working on the course. We'll delete the older lessons. It has a current affairs module in which we take you through one-liner MCQs again, and then we send you via courier hard copies of our magazine known as Professor Hulk. इस साल की अभी बन रही हैं. And then there is static GK. So everything I'm going to be covering out for CLAT, AI, LET and all 5-year LLBs. That is why I've created this separate channel beyond from Courtroom by TLOI, which is our main channel. Now the ad has ended. I usually don't do mid-roll ads, so अगर मेरे को I think इस channel पे भी setting on नहीं है, but I'll disable it. Indus Water Treaties, when was it signed? The date was September 1960. So consider all lectures on this channel as demo lectures for this very batch. The Indus Water, September 1960. The IWT was signed in Karachi. This can be another MCQ. When was it signed? September 1960. And 9 years negotiations is low probability. We can ignore that, but good to know. अब सामने लिखा ही हुआ है तो. How many articles does the Indus Water Treaty has? That's 12 articles and 8 annexures. How many states do we have? 28 states, 8 union territories. Am I right? Go check it on the internet. All right. Now, according to the provisions of the treaty, all the water of the eastern rivers of the Indus system. So, pro tip: we need to study the Indus system this year because they're going to be asking for it. 3 rivers, that is the Satluj, the Beas and Ravi, shall be available for the unrestricted use of India, and Pakistan shall receive water from the western rivers, that is Indus, Jhelum and Chenab. Chenab, कई लोग अलग-अलग बात करते हैं. Chenab we'll refer to the Hindi name, and ये आपका सतलुज. तो these rivers के ऊपर expect MCQs, all right? Expect MCQs, तो इनको आपको रटना ही रटना पड़ेगा. So you are looking at the Satluj, Beas and Ravi, and Indus, Jhelum and Chenab. But we need to go into more details about the Indus water system, the Indus basin, basically, that entire thing. Because they can ask, we need to be reasonably prepared. If they don't ask, अच्छी बात है. Then यहाँ पर there are 2 hydroelectric projects that are being made. That is the Kishan Ganga hydroelectric project, and Kishan Ganga is a tributary of the Jhelum. Write that down. And I do not know the pronunciation of this. This is Ratli, Rattle shouldn't be there, but Ratle, I do not know what the pronunciation is. Ratle on the Chenab. All right. So this I've researched out from Wikipedia, Indian Express, The Hindu, and combined it into one lecture using my experience of what all can the examiner ask. All right. Then you have who basically signed आपका ये जो Indus Water Treaty was signed by who, जैसे हमने पहले नोट करा था of the Shimla Agreement. So this was Jawaharlal Nehru and Ayub Khan. This was signed in Karachi, right? ये important है, इसको note down कर लीजिए. And this is what Pakistan is basically alleging. How can you do this, right? So this another MCQ can be asked. Which of the following is known as the Treaty on Treaties? So that is the Vienna Convention on the Law of Treaties, VCLT. Usually LLM वगैरह में बहुत ज़्यादा पूछते हैं. But this treaty is basically if 2 countries violate a treaty, then what do we do? All right. So in case of violation, which is basically we will have to refer to Vienna Convention of the Law of Treaties. ये MCQ आ सकता है. Okay. And that regulates treaties among sovereign states. What do you mean sovereign states? That are completely independent, do not have to answer to anyone. India is a fully sovereign state. इसकी spelling भी पूछते रहते हैं MHCET वगैरह के अंदर consistently, because E और I में ताकि फर्क ना हो. Alright. Now we come here. The treaty gave India control over the 3 eastern rivers. So they can ask you about which of the following is not one of the 3 eastern rivers. If I want to make the MCQ very, very tough. So Beas River, Ravi and Satluj. So BRS is eastern. ऐसे करके याद कर सकते हैं. Alright. And the western rivers में आप ICJ, Indus, Chenab and Jhelum. ICJ has nothing to do with the International Court of Justice. It's one of the organs of the United Nations. You must know all of this. So yeah. So ICJ is on the western side. BRS is on the BRS is on the eastern side. ICJ is on the western side. इसको आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा. You can ignore this 99 billion cubic meters. That was all right. Okay, and Pakistan has basically access to which of the following rivers, or which of the Pakistan does not have access to. तो वो वहाँ पे 3 options तो ये देगा और उसमें से एक ये उठा के we can frame a lot many questions. All right. In the observer course, I'll basically give you all the quizzes as well to practice. And now, this is for which of the following statements is correct, which of the following statements is incorrect. The Indus Water Treaty lacks an exit clause. So ये आपको note down करना पड़ेगा. AILT tends to ask such questions. So India and Pakistan cannot legally abrogate it, because if there were an exit clause, we would have exited by now. So we have said no, sorry, this is suspended. We do not want to follow it anymore. Technically speaking, we want to exit. The treaty has no end date. This is one MCQ that you need to write. And any modification requires the consent of both parties. All right. And The treaty cannot be exited. It does contain a dispute resolution mechanism is given in which of the following articles of the treaty, that is Article 9, along with annexures F and J. F and G lays out procedures for raising grievances. Alright, so ये article number आप जरा article number 9 annexures F and G को जरा आप याद कर लेंगे. First, before the Permanent Indus Commission, then a neutral expert, and eventually a forum of arbitrators. So this, first we are going to the Permanent Indus Commission and then a neutral expert, as in if this fails then we go here, and eventually a forum of arbitrators. So this can be a 3-stage process as well. Now there was a neutral expert that was appointed very recently. Let's check that. Now in January of this year, the neutral expert was appointed by the World Bank, और इनका जो नाम है, अच्छा ये World Bank भी, the neutral expert is appointed by which of the following international bodies? That's the World Bank. The expert is, it should have been Michael, I believe, Michel Lino. Let's check. Michel Lino. Is it Michel Lino? Is it Michael Lino? Yeah, Indus, अच्छा इनका नाम ही ये रखा हुआ है. We'll just refer to him as Lino. Alright. But Michael nahi hai. This is, I think, I'll read it as Michel, but Michel also has an L and an E. But anyway, Lino. ठीक है जी. So this is the neutral expert. इनका नाम जरूर आप कर लेंगे. And annexure G and कहाँ गया? Annexure G and F. Article 9 के साथ साथ. Yeah, annexure F and G. Yeah, G and F. तो annexure GF, girlfriend. ऐसे करके याद कर लेते हैं. We are quite young, you know, it's 17-18-year-olds here, as in I'm not, but you are, if you're watching for CLAT. And yeah, that's just about it. All right, so we are already fighting over this treaty. Then you have the Lahore Declaration. Now, what is the Lahore Declaration? So this was a bilateral agreement between India and Pakistan. This was signed on the 21st of February 1999 at the conclusion of a historic summit in Lahore and ratified by the parliament of both countries. So Lahore Declaration came pre the Kargil war. We just signed it and then in May we were fighting. So we were fighting, you know, in basically the Lahore Declaration is related to us. We had very recently tested out the nuclear weapons, और उसके चक्कर में post that we signed it. And then so under the terms of a treaty, a mutual understanding was reached towards the development of atomic arsenal and to avoid accidental and unauthorized operational use of nuclear weapons. So both of us are nuclear countries, Pakistan and India. We need to basically, you know, keep on watching out कि भाई देख ले, please ये मत कर दियो. तो ये आपका जो है Lahore Declaration now. So you have another landmark agreement to basically remember. Hopefully they ask all of this. Of course, you know, these are the most important ones. Always remember this was pre-Kargil war. This was in May 1999. This was pre the Kargil war. This Lahore Declaration was not signed post the Kargil war. It was pre the Kargil war because the year is the same. So we signed that in February and then we were at war in May. Alrighty. So that sums it up. So this is a CLAT style current affair. Then I've already posted, I think, एक January वगैरह का I think lecture है इस channel पे, which we do as a standard current affair lecture. So this is a CLAT style current affair lecture, and ऐसे ही आपको current affairs cover out करने. All right. I'll keep on posting randomly from the batch. I can't post them all. क्या बोलते हैं? Thanks to YouTube being YouTube. But any which way. So because we all have a kitchen to run. But any which way. So yeah, I'll see you in further lectures. Please do leave a comment in which if you want to ask me something, I can use all of my experience to help you, because we've returned to the CLAT scene this year after a sabbatical of around 2 to 3 years. And but we follow CLAT very, very closely and to understand as to what they're up to. Any which way, alrighty, wishing you all the very best. Hopefully this lecture has been of help to you, and do take very good care of yourself. As a 12th standard student, as an 11th standard, 12th standard student, kindly do go through. There is a lecture on this channel saying what the examiner wants from you in CLAT. So do that, and then basically we take it up from there. Wishing you all the very best, and do take very good care of yourself. Do prepare very, very well. And if you need anything in preparation, do let me know in the comments. Wishing you all the best. Bye.